Welcome to this new episode of Travel World Online. Today we have Mr. Kanwarjit Singh Sawhney, value known as Mr. Bobby Sawhney, Chairman, Transport Committee ICC, and General Secretary ETA. Welcome, Mr. Sawhney.
Thank you.
For me, I only know him as Bobby because I think almost 2.5 decades back, we worked very closely together.
Great.
And he was a great support at that time with us in our organization. So I know him. At that time, he had a very dark black beard. He's looking very handsome now. Hi, Bobby. How are you? Welcome on board today.
Hi, Mika. Thank you.
If we jump into what we're going to talk today, I just wanted to ask you, Bobby, you have seen many, last 3 decades, lots have happened. You have seen many kind of crises, you have seen many kinds of ups and downs. In the current situation, what is happening to the transport sector?
At the outset, Vikas ji, good evening to you and to Anil Sharma. See, let me just go back about 45 years back when I joined my father in 1981 after finishing my so-called professionalism in tourism. See, 81 onwards we started and it was a fresh period for me. Slowly we were upcoming towards the tourism because we had coaches at that time which were less operative for the tourism sector and more towards the Indian and domestic. But then while I was flourishing and getting ideas into the tourism and pursuing my dad that we should be more into this, couple of years later we happened to get the 84 rights.
Yeah.
So that was the first major hit on our back.
Happened.
So the business went off right from November 84 till about mid of 85. So business was totally down. Then if you remember again about a decade plus back later, there was a massive infection of this mouse, rat.
Ebola. Ebola happened, yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So that happened at a time when we were approaching the summer period. All the bookings for February, March, April and that year were already done. So people had less option to cancel because they knew if they cancel then the refund will not be applicable. So that period passed on in between that the cancellation didn't happen and every business steadily went off.
Yeah.
May, June, July, August was already off season, so that didn't matter. But good luck that September onwards it carried on and it flourished. So that didn't matter. So those were the 2 mishaps which I saw and I still believe that how we overcame. Now, then comes this massive attack on the tourism. That was the COVID.
Yeah.
In COVID, what we used to say that we as tourism are the first ones to be affected and probably we will be the last to be restored.
You're so right.
These are my words during COVID.
No, you're so right.
That's true.
By the God's grace, my daddy's idea, daddy unfortunately is not here, he went off 5 years back at the age of 90. Daddy's idea, we had cleared and all the financial obligations for the 10, 12 of my coaches. So we were absolutely in safe hands that it did not go into the minus.
Yeah.
So slowly that considering that 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, then it lingered to 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years. It went. Because let me be assured in my words to you that what business my company and in general overall as ETA, as Indian Tourist Transport Association, the transporters were doing pre-COVID, that is for inbound. The business has increased more than 70 to 80% post-COVID only for domestic and corporates.
Wow.
You will also be a party to this, Vikas Kanduri.
Yes.
Because the domestic had gone up to such a level that the death sentence could not happen to any tourism related person. whether it is a tourist transport operator or whether it is an inbound or whether it is an outbound, everybody was, had got his equal share of that piece of cake. So now, that passed and that went off. Now comes this crucial period which we are running through. It comes with none other than the Honorable General Donald Trump. Whatever, I give you yours faithfully. Now let me tell you that how the question, and I'm now answering the question what you say, the crisis and this. See, domestic and corporate in India has rising to such an extent that the bigger and the biggest of the corporates are introducing their products in India.
Yes.
Very recently, you would have seen the Mercedes V model.
Yeah.
It has been introduced in India.
Yes.
I was, my company, Bakshi Transport Service Private Limited, has been among the first tourist transport operators to get that vehicle delivered under the commercial brand.
Vehicle.
Under the commercial.
Congratulations.
As tour operators. That happened 4 days back.
Congratulations.
Now, another thing, that all the luxury brands, all the super luxury cars, like the Wellfires, the Mercedes GLS, the Toyota Hiace, whatever the super luxury cars are, they have been sold and purchased by the tourist transporters in last couple of months to the next level. Why and how? Because the flourishing business for the domestic is to such an extent that, touch wood, in last 35-36 days of the war, this has not affected at all. Definitely, the cancellations have happened for the outbound. Definitely, the business
Deserves a clap.
That deserves a
Wow.
clap. But tell me one thing:
Okay.
has this good to hear that things are looking very nice. But just want to check about that. Has the transporters also got pinch of the cost been fluctuating?
Due to the gas.
Because we people are born and brought up by these injections.
Yeah.
Every now and then we have been poked, and you being a tour operator and you being a travel agent now, and you going through the thick and of the files which you've been operating, no tour operator or travel agent has any capacity to give a hike to anybody. If there is an increase in the embodiment fees, you are, you don't have anything else to do. If there is an increase in the elephant fees, you start fighting, you start requesting to reduce it. But that everything has to be absorbed inside. Similarly, we as transporters, we have that, an extra cushion in us that we get absorbed and we get that cooling off period accordingly. But yes, effect does happen. We remain positive, we remain honest to our business, it carries on. Because we have to remain a tourist transport operator. We cannot open our business to some other chole bhature ki dukaan or sweet shop. We have to remain a tourist transport operator. And that will only happen if you are dedicatedly, honestly into your business.
I get your point. When we say that the outbound business is converting into domestic business, which means a corporate is now diverting also their business, which was going to the Middle East or across the Central Asia, is now is doing business in India. Do you think that we have similar quality of drivers, guides, the help, or do you think the time has come that we need to really train our people, put together the entire India I'm talking about?
Because see, when about 5, 6, 7, 8 years or 10 years down the line, when there was Ola and Uber introduced, we had slight jerks. A tricky speed breaker was there on the road. But that passed off in only 4 or 5 or 6 months. So that phase has gone. Firstly, there is no issues of good drivers. There is no issues of good professional guides. Definitely there is a shortage. The language speaking guides, they have had a dent, but then they have converted themselves into an English speaking guide. I have seen over the period that the guides who did not want to do the Indian business, the guides who did not want to travel along with the Indian domestic tourists, they are more than willing now. What was happening that earlier they were not paid in the proper manner which they wanted to be. Now they are being paid on their per day due charges as per the guidelines of Ministry of Tourism. Now they are being given the benefits of their accommodation. Now they are being given all the TAs and DAs, etc. So guides are more than happy. It is my personal experience and I am using that. Another factor is that from the time the Honorable Prime Minister of India said that the marriages should happen in India, believe you me, the biggest families all over the world, I'm talking about NRI, they are getting their children married in India.
Oh,
Just snooze into Jodhpur and Udaipur. They are full of marriages.
marriages.
Just these two cities only. The third one is Jaipur. The fourth is Cobbett Park. Never in the history we had thought that in jungle ke andar there will be marriages happening. Today Cobbett Park is doing fantastic business. Why? Because the people are wanting a change. People are wanting to go ahead. Because when I joined my daddy in early days, during the marriage season from September 15 till about February, there used to be these marriage processions, and every family for a barat, they used to book 2 or 3 coaches.
Yes.
For the baratis and
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
bandwalas and everything.
Yeah.
Now the system has totally changed. Now a marriage in a family means 50 to 200 cars per wedding.
Per wedding, yeah. That culture has changed.
This is what we are growing. They give one car to one family, 2 or 3 or 4 people.
Tell me one more thing.
400 guests है तो equally मतलब हो गए. 1000 guests है तो equally cars divide हो गई. So business has grown. The transporters have grown. There are so many transporters who popped in. But we again, with the help of Indian Association of Tour Operators, with the help of the presidents, we are requesting them to please ensure to work with the recognized transport operators.
That's important.
With
Two things come in my mind, very interesting. Blessing in disguise is that we should not say, but the reality is that the entire Middle East is run by the Indian drivers. You think those people will be coming back to India and get into the Indian system?
They can, but more or less they remain a taxi driver for Ola and Uber. They will not be easily adjustable in the tourist trade.
Got it. Second thing I want to ask you, I have done a lot of outbound tours. I've traveled, with many groups, many parts of the world. I think the coach companies particularly use a level of technology. They are always connected, and through their offices, the messages do come to the tour operator that where is the location, what's happening. Do you think in India this culture of technology coming into the transport field?
It has already come. We have drivers who are absolutely illiterate, because absolutely unpad, but they are the most highly educated technically. They know how to operate Google Maps. They know how to speak English. English in the sense that they have started using a complete sentence to make the foreigner tourists understand. They are very, very comfortable in corporates and ADNs. I have 4 senior drivers with me who are driving, 2 of them on Volvo and 2 of them on Mercedes GLS cars. But coming back to the line, this is that, that injection which will react later.
Mm-hmm.
It will not give you a pinch, it will not hurt you instantly, but it will hurt you slowly down the line. It will, and if you are not able to adjust with it accordingly, it may faint you also. Let me be very clear in my words.
One thing which I got from this, whatever he's talking about is, one, our PM is our biggest investor.
Yes,
Marriages,
very right.
that is one. Second, what he's talking about is the luxury is new normal in transport.
Correct.
Right. Third, which I want to ask him is, now when you get travel queries, it's single families or the families as
No,
What's-
both we are getting. Both. Single families and otherwise also, it's one and the same thing. It's
Yeah,
exactly the
this-
same thing.
I think what-
In last 40 days, since the war has begun, we have attended about 6 family and close friends' weddings. And there has been, we have not seen a shortage of expenses there. The big shot singers are coming, spending lakhs and lakhs on them. The big shot, multi-dimensional expenses are happening. People are not bothered.
You know, Bobby, when we started about this this series of podcasts we are doing, short ones, we thought that there's going to be a complete distress in the transport system. The EMIs are getting bounced. The transport is not able to operate. But it's such a heartening to hear from you that things are not bad at all. India
It's not from my perspective. I'm telling you, believe you me, 80 to 90% of our transporters are very happy and satisfied.
Mr. Sawhney, which I could get from you is, please correct me if I'm wrong, domestic tourism is the key to success in today's
Absolutely.
vulnerable situation.
Absolutely.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
Great, well taken.
I think since it's a small format today, we need to close it today, Bobby.
Great, thank you very
It's
much.
a pleasure. We are wrapping up very happy today and with a lot of hope. Thank you for coming in a short notice to our podcast and be in touch.
You are watching Travel World Online.